St. Joseph's Senior Secondary School, Nagalama. And my name is Mark Peter Sejurinya. This is Wumahoro Doreen, Busura Jackson, and Muchibi Calvin.
This is the team from Bishop Cipriano, Kihangire.
Wumahoro Doreen, St. Joseph's Senior Secondary School, Nagalama. The August House. This is a white paper. And I believe that all of you can prove that this is a white paper. Refuting that science is not the enemy of the people would be saying that this paper is pink or black. The concern in the August House today is that science is the enemy of the people. Well, I will begin by defining the key terms in our resolution today. Science, according to Wikipedia, science is a systematic enterprise that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. An enemy is a thing that harms or weakens something else. People are persons or everyone in general, according to the 9th edition Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. Science does not begin with just the various technological advancements that we see, the phones, the cars, and everything. Science traces back, according to Wikipedia, back to 3000 BC, the discovery of fire by early man. That is all science, ladies and gentlemen. And we as the affirmers are here to inform you that one cannot separate science from man, because man is science and science is man. Furthermore, we as the affirmers are here to inform you that there are various forms of science, according to Wikipedia, such as natural science, social science, and formal science. And the status quo, according to Wikipedia, is that the various scientific advances that have come up to help mankind, and we as the affirmers do not refute that, but then they come with risks, various risks that can wipe out humankind, ladies and gentlemen. We as the affirmers are also here to inform you that, ladies and gentlemen, science is like a rose. Everyone knows that a rose has a very fine scent. A rose is very amazing and very beautiful. It is actually very attractive to look at. But let us not forget that a rose has thorns. And this is an analogy we connect to science. Yes, science has done good. Science has promoted very good things that we can see, the cars, very good transport. But let us not forget that science comes with risks, and these are the thorns that we see. And that is why we as the affirmers are curtailing ourselves to discussing the enemy of the people. We believe that science is not wholly bad, but then to a larger extent, science is bad. And that is why we as the affirmers are curtailing ourselves to nuclear weapons, viruses, artificial intelligence, and environmental destruction due to science. We know about the good things science has done, but we are here to look at the enemy of the people, which is this science. We as the affirmers shall use the International Security Council World Health Program and United Nations Environmental Program. We are going to work under an umbrella organization which will be called the International Science Regulatory Committee, and our work plan through this umbrella committee, the International Security Council, we shall make sure that we stop the production of nuclear weapons and instead we have solar energy, and I believe, so the sun is not going to go into extinct. We can use the solar energy to better our lives. And furthermore, we shall implement the International Proliferation Treaty and the Disarmament Treaty. We shall also use our World Health Organization to stop production of various dangerous viruses such as the HINI, H5NI, and also the United Nations Environmental Program to ensure that there is filtration of the various dangerous wastes, working hand in hand with the various environmental programs of various countries to ensure that the wastes do not affect our countries. Furthermore, we as the affirmers do not refute that science is bad. That we don't say that science is wholly good, but we are saying that there is this specific science that is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, on 16th and 9th of August, 1945, the United Nations used nuclear weapons to attack the cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, killing over 2,666,000 people. We are looking at people, lives. So what more greater thing do you think that is bigger than science? What do you think that is the enemy of people rather than science? If, ladies and gentlemen, we are seated on a time bomb. According to Stephen Hawking, a very renowned scientist, the late Stephen Hawking, he says that science is a force that cannot be controlled. We as humans, science has reached a point whereby it can go over our own predictions. According to theguardian.com, 9 countries possess over 16,000 nuclear weapons that can destroy the whole world over and over and over and over and over again. So, can we accept such things to go on? No, that is why we are coming up with our work plan to ensure that science is put in order. I rest my case saying that there is no greater enemy to the people rather than science. Thank you.
A very good evening to you all. Anjo Asara is my name from BCK. First speaker, negative team. Well, this house believes that science is the enemy of the people. Now, we as the negatives, first of all, I would like to begin by appreciating the first farmer for the great speech. And majorly, her argument has been centered around one major argument, that is nuclear weapons. Now, we as the negatives have been left in our corridor of confusion because she has failed to prove to us beyond reasonable doubt how nuclear weapons have been a harm, just like in harm definition for enemy, which is something that causes harm. Yes, she has showed us how much harm it caused, but now I'd like to let them know that the occurrence of the 1945 Nagasaki Hiroshima nuclear weapon, the scenario that happened there is being handled. There's a program that is handling the mutation of that incident, ladies and gentlemen. Now we come as the negative saying that yes, science has the ability to solve the problems it causes. This is the beauty about science, ladies and gentlemen. Now that they have left us with just one argument, I believe I have the chance and the courtesy to prove to you that yes, science is not an enemy of man. Science is a friend, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today and I'm able to be very loud because of science, ladies and gentlemen. I have this microphone because of science. Now, when we are analyzing something that is bad to us, first of all, we look at the extent, because in life, surely, nothing can always be very good or very bad, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when you look at science, take a picture of it, ladies and gentlemen. In this 21st century, science is a friend to us. Now, if I start listing down the good things science has done for us, I'm afraid we might spend our night here, starting up from transport, starting up from the genetically modified organisms that are easing agriculture, that are easing us having better species in our world, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's this program that they have come up with that is called gene line editing. Now, this helps us come up with better and more improved genes amongst ourselves. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Point of information.
Yes, please.
We clearly stated it that we are talking about nuclear weapons, viruses, and other things. We know about the good of science. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, talking about nuclear weapons and viruses, beautiful. Now, do we believe that even before science was highly manifested, viruses always existed? Do we believe that? Now, that is one thing we would love the affirmatives to believe, that even before science, the viruses were already existing. Now, this is to prove to you that, yes, there might be very many claims proving that science has caused this, science has caused that, but we should look at the fact that even before science came to existence, these problems were happening. Now, for the case of viruses, that is quite... Then also coming back to the Nagasaki Hiroshima occurrence in 1945, when you look deeper into the issue, what caused this? This was human weakness. This was because of the tension and suspicion between the Allied powers and the Axis powers in the European states, ladies and gentlemen. It was not because of science. Now, science came in as a basis of solving these problems. Then also, now the production of these nuclear weapons, no country, I tell you, no country which does not have the capability to handle the effects of the nuclear weapons is given the license or is allowed to produce them. Now, nuclear weapons are not harmful in any way, first of all, and the first and last time nuclear weapons were manifested was in 1945, and it stopped there, ladies and gentlemen, because of bodies like the UNO that have come down to stop all these things that are happening. Now, when we talk about nuclear weapon, yes, there is a production, the use, then the deposit. Now, the most dangerous part of this all is the deposit. Now, when a country does not have a proper way of depositing these things, ladies and gentlemen, that is when it becomes harmful. But the beauty is that these countries do. We are proud that they do have the way of handling these issues, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we come clean and we are like, yes, nuclear weapons have no effect. And actually, when they are being tested, they go to places that can never be used before. Now, like when Northern Korea was testing for their nuclear weapons, where did they go? Out of space. Does any of you go there for vacation? These are questions we wonder about, ladies and gentlemen. Now, how do we get affected? Well, they go to places like the deserts, Do you guys go there? These places are not used in any one way. That's why we are saying science is not an enemy to the people. Science is actually a friend. Science is used for solving basic issues. Science is helping us reduce on things like a lot of issues, ladies and gentlemen. Our transportation, our technology, our agriculture, industrialization, Medicare, ladies and gentlemen. I already told you in the beginning that yes, if we start mentioning the advantages of science, we shall surely sleep here. So why don't we look at the better of science and looking at its negatives, ladies and gentlemen? Because we, as the scientists, are here to say that whatsoever problem we cause, we can rectify it. This gives us an upper hand as the negative team. Science is not an enemy. I rest my case.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.